All right, let's talk troubleshooting rows if you tend to feel your neck or your lower back, and what are some variations or options that you have if the one that you're doing in your program is not working for you. So first thing to keep in mind with the row is just basic form and body position. So if we take kind of our standard bent over row, which you'll see a lot, it'll look something like this. The elbows pull up, wrist to ribs, and they come down. So what I want you to notice in this body position is that I am in a hinge. And when I am in a hinge, it means my lower back is going to have to activate to hold me here. A lot of us don't have a lot of strength, stability, or practice being in that position. And so that is often why you may feel your lower back when you first start doing that type of rowing exercise. It doesn't always mean that you are hurting yourself or that you've done something wrong. It could just be that your lower back just isn't used to that position yet and it needs some time. Now, that being said, you don't have to start there, and if it feels uncomfortable or scary to feel your lower back, here's some other choices. So 2 ways that you can use the bench. And if you don't have a bench and you're doing this at home, you could also maybe use a chair, is more of this kind of single arm 3-point row. So here now, my lower back is being a lot more supported than if I am standing without my hand pressing into anything. Another version of this that sometimes works nicely looks like this, where both the knee and the hand is on the bench, and that may also feel more supportive to your lower back. Finally, if none of those are really a good choice for you, and let's say you're hypermobile, you're not so sure about using dumbbells yet, you want to get the form down first and just get used to isolating and feeling your upper back and your shoulders, then you might want to start with a band. This can be done seated or standing. You can hold on with both hands to do double arm one or with one hand to do a single arm one. But it's exactly the same where you're just going to pull back and then reach it forward. But you'll notice now I don't have to hinge at all, so my lower back is not going to have to work as hard. So those are some troubleshoots for lower back. And I'm going to show you one more option in a moment if you do have an adjustable bench at home and you tend to kind of pop your ribs or use your low back a lot. The other thing I want to talk about though first is the neck. So a lot of the time when we row, we might feel our upper trap in our neck. And again, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're hurting yourself or that you've done anything wrong. But if you're feeling your neck a lot, that does sometimes have something to do with the position of your shoulder in the row. And let me show you what I mean. So if I do my row and I'm pulling and I'm thinking about pulling my elbow high, you might see that my shoulder is kind of rounded forward and it's kind of shrugging into my ear. When it shrugs up, that's my neck working. It doesn't mean that I'm not using my back. It just means I'm also using my neck. So I might feel it later. So if I want to think about a different cue to maybe use my neck less and use my lats and my back more, I can think about sliding my elbow back and tucking my shoulder blade back and down. And notice now the dumbbell's a little bit lower. I'm getting a little bit more engagement internally or feeling wise from my mid back and lat. And now my shoulder is less in my ear. So I'll do it the other way one more time. You'll notice my shoulder shrugged up. And now I'm going to think about drawing the shoulder back and down and kind of sliding the elbow back instead of up. And that is going to feel very different. And I now feel a lot more activation here instead of here. So that is something that you can play with. Here's one more variation though for a row if you tend to feel your lower back or your neck a lot that you may not have seen before. Now you are going to need an adjustable bench for this one, but what I like about this one is you're basically going to block out your torso on top of the bench. So if you are someone, again, you're hypermobile, you're really bendy through your lower back, or you're just someone who tends to kind of thrust their ribs, it's much harder to do that in this position. So you can do this single or double arm. You'll set the bench up at kind of about a 45-degree angle, take or give, and then you will straddle it and you'll have your dumbbell set up one on each side. And then I can go single arm or double arm, but you'll notice now my chest and my pelvis and back are supported by the bench. Now I can pull back and come down. And you'll probably notice as you do this, you can't lift as heavy of a weight as you normally do. And that is totally fine. But what that is going to do is it's going to let you isolate and feel more of the mid back and lats, kind of this area, instead of being as much maybe in your lower back. And if you're looking for customizable strength workouts with modifications or options to account for joint issues or hypermobility or some more advanced variations, I have a week of free strength workouts for you. You can grab them via the link in the description.